works. We'll see. We'll see.
You're live as you're talking,
Countdown
mate.
should start straight away. Countdown should be starting now. Is it starting? Is it starting?
Yes, Sam, it's starting. Now,
that the 30 seconds didn't even come. The 30 seconds didn't even come up for me, so I had no idea. I just kind of sat there like, well, this is a bit weird. It's not even
Okay.
worked, but
3,
the 30-second
2,
worked, did it? Just not on mine.
1, go.
Let me take a drink instead.
Right, so 30 seconds didn't come up for me there. So you've got me not knowing when it started, but we're here. We have had, I don't know if we've had a little bit of a break actually. I think we have because we weren't on last week. So I think we've had a little bit of a week's break. But we're back obviously on the eve of the Netflix era, as we shall call it. I am joined by two amazing people this evening. First of all, Jenna, how are you?
I am good. We are good. We're doing good. Tired, but good.
That is good.
Tell me about it, mate.
Yeah,
I'm a
you've
daddy
had
and
some.
it's my
I've had
little
some fun
called
staying up
really-
sessions.
Yeah, you've had some early ones and some late ones.
Yep.
Lee, how are you?
I'm really happy to see you all, guys. I'm very happy to be on a Wrestle Dawgs channel for the first time in a little while. Good to see you. Happy New Year to everybody on the channel. Hope you're all doing well.
Oh yeah. I'm not very good at saying that, to be fair. So yeah, Happy New Year to everybody.
You haven't even
It has
introduced
happened.
yourself.
It is a new year. Although
Sam, you haven't even introduced yourself, mate.
I don't normally do that. I think people know who I am.
You need to, right?
think-
we are
I think the
joined.
people
Sam
know who I am,
Wilson is our host with the most over there. How are you doing, Sam?
I'm good. I just figure that people have watched these lives because this is number 39. I figured they've hopefully tuned into one before. But if not, I do have my little name underneath, so they do know who I am.
Yeah.
And they'll soon work out because I'm the one that talks the most. I'm the host. So I'm hoping with a little bit of watching it, we'll get to that point. But
just a little admin
so,
from YouTuber to YouTuber.
Some bit.
You know, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I've never obviously done that. I've never even thought about it, to be honest. Maybe I should. So,
100%.
Since we were last here, we've had an AEW pay-per-view that I haven't wrote notes for, so we won't be talking about it because it was a couple of weeks ago and I've completely forgotten what happened. So we'll forget that ever happened. It was okay. It wasn't anything amazing. If you didn't see it, you didn't miss an awful amount. If you did, it was fairly enjoyable. So we'll pretend that didn't happen in the world of Wrestle Dawgs, and we'll skip to what was last week's Monday Night Raw, because it's also Monday this evening. This is a bit that I didn't write that many notes, as you can see. So today I'm just kind of waffling. I hope normally it's a little bit more, I don't know, structured. So
I mean, your mic's cutting in and out.
Use of my fancy banners. Last week's Raw was. Oh, this is just fantastic. Right, let me position the space. Oh, is that better?
Well, I can hear you, Sam.
Earth to the YouTube.
There's about a 7-second delay, but
hopefully
I can hear
that's
you.
better. Oh no, this is wonderful. So, as my mic is clearly and my internet is clearly not playing ball this evening, I'm going to first of all put you on the spot a little bit, Lee, and tell me what you liked about the CM Punk and Seth Rollins part of Monday Night Raw.
Wonderful. I can talk to you for a while about that if you need to sort your what's it out. So I love how how Raw kicked off last week. It's one of the few segments of it I've actually seen the whole lot of, and this has been brewing since Punk returned War Games Survivor Series, right? From when Seth was in the ring, wasn't he? He was amongst Cody and the others in that Survivor Series matchup, and all of a sudden, cult of personality hit. I loved how personal this feud seemed. In the fact that Seth called Punk called him little brother, which was quite almost condescending, if you like. It was like, oh my goodness, I've got two avatars now. No, I don't like this. So I thought it was very much from the heart how both of them were speaking about each other. It's clearly a very personal sort of rivalry. It's very exciting that this is going to be Punk's first Raw match since coming back to the company. Jenna, what do you think of the whole promo? Please tell me you're still here, Jenna. Is anybody here? Jenna? Right, if I'm carrying this solo.
I'm here. I'm just moving positions.
I think I've lost Jenna,
Oh no. Right, let me I'm back. I'm just moving positions in the hope that my internet is much better.
No worries, Sam. No one's watching. It's all right. It's fine. It's only live right here on youtube.com.
It is. That should be much better, though.
No worries. As we see a wonderful indoor plant there. I believe his name is Tony.
The power of coming downstairs.
Well, that
should be a lot better
to me, mate.
I'm hoping. That's good.
I mean, there might be a few seconds. Jenna, are you still with us? Where's Jenna gone?
Oh, she's muted.
Jenna, talk to me.
Unmute.
I'm not that scary, honestly.
She's. I think she. This is all going really smoothly.
Screen. Absolutely. I mean, do you want to start again? I don't mind.
Right, I'm back now. So I did listen to what you said.
We're live, pal.
Yeah, I do think I did agree with what you said. I think that was why it was so good, because it felt so personal between the two of them. And look, like they probably don't because of kayfabe and everything, but in the promo purposes, it looks like they absolutely hated each other, which is what you like to see. Obviously, not hating each other is not a great thing, but in the world of wrestling, that's what we want. It's also a ghost shutting doors in my house, which is kind of worrying. Hopefully, it's a nice ghost and not a.
It's the ghost of Paul Bearer. Oh, yes!
To be honest, I wouldn't be too bothered about that. I think that'd be great. So
a run-in from Paul Bearer.
let me see
what I had on my bingo card tonight. Earth to Jenna. Are you there?
No, also not a. Also, this is a fun moment. So on OVW Wrestling, which is Ohio Valley Wrestling, they had their Royal Rumble pay-per-view over the last couple of days. And Mick Foley turned up as Dude Love, as one of the people coming out in the Royal Rumble. But it was great. He's fully dressed up and kitted up and everything. It was amazing.
Love Mick. Absolutely love Mick Foley. God bless. Hang on. Are you telling me you just competed in a Royal Rumble match?
Well, kind of competed. So he came down, got on the microphone, said a little bit of trash talking, got into the ring, did one move, and then kind of eliminated himself. So
With
not really. It was more of a
cactus clothesline, no doubt.
I don't actually know what happened.
Well, I can imagine that's what.
I don't actually know what happened, to be honest, but I think it was more of a gimmick thing to have him come out. Yeah.
Okay. If anyone knows, let us know in the comments down below, please.
So I doubt anybody really watches Ohio Valley Wrestling, but it's actually a documentary about it on Netflix called Wrestlers, and it is.
The time delay.
It's run by Al Snow.
What does everybody want?
Oh my! Good internet.
What does everybody need? Broadband.
What is going on? Right, I'm gonna do a thing. Right, I'm gonna.
You might want to message Jenna because I think she's disappeared off the planet of the Earth.
I don't know what's going on now.
I say, hey, hey, hey.
This is just.
I say, hey, what's going on?
Smoothly ever. I don't know what's that's not filling full of much hope, to be honest.
Okay. I mean, I hope I haven't scared.
I don't know what's going on.
And don't leave me on my own on the screen like this, Sam. That's not fair.
I'm trying to stop my cam and then start my cam to see if it makes any difference. But I think we're just going to have to roll with it as best as we can.
In the words of
Oasis,
what I would do in your case at the moment, if Jenna's not available, take her away from the stream. If Jenna's still watching us on YouTube, try and rejoin over StreamYards. That's probably the best way to do it, and we'll carry on talking about the Punk versus Rollins promo, shall we, Sam?
Yeah, so hopefully I might be a little bit better now, although it keeps cutting out to 3 and 1. So, yeah. So, the bit that I wanted to add was the topic they chose. So they referenced Vince McMahon at one point. They referenced AEW at one point. So yeah, that was kind of, I don't know, a weird move for WWE. I think that could have put them into some heat. But go on, Lee.
They also mentioned Colt Cabana without directly mentioning his name.
Oh, did they?
Seth said you went on your buddy's podcast and tried to bury the company.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that was Colt Cabana.
I've also I've just also overheard some bad news that we haven't got United tickets for the FA Cup. game.
Oh,
That
that's
will be
unfortunate.
9 unsuccessful ballots this season now. We've gone in for 9 ballots and we've got no tickets out of all 9 ballots.
Maybe we could talk about that off stream, Sam. Wink.
Well,
because I might have another plan for Sunday night.
Yeah.
Wink.
Oh, okay.
But we're talking about the wrestling,
we'll,
so
we'll
let's
have a chat
carry on.
anyway after.
No doubt.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's all I've got to add on in terms of the promo. I think it leads up really well to obviously the match tomorrow. I think it's one that lots of people are going to be looked forward to, and I think it's going to be like if you looked at it like a book, it's kind of like the first chapter in their story. I think it will be carried on from now until WrestleMania, I think, because this was what they wanted to do last year, wasn't it? Before there was injuries and other stuff happened. This was their plans for what they wanted to do last year at Mania. So maybe it will just come a year later.
It's just on a bit of a time delay, isn't it? Perhaps a bit like our stream.
Bit like our stream, yeah. My internet at the minute. So the other thing that happened on Raw that was worth talking about was that Lyra Valkyria defeated Io Sky to reach the final. So one side of the final of the Women's Intercontinental Championship Tournament. That's a tongue twister. So that was one side of the final. I'm actually not unhappy with this one because Lyra Valkyria is someone that they've tried to push but haven't given a title to. So I'll be quite pleased if she is the person that eventually wins it. Because to me, that is someone that's in the middle of the card at the minute and that they would like to push on. So I'm actually not displeased with that one, which you'll be surprised to hear about.
It would certainly elevate her, wouldn't it? It would certainly give her a little bit more. If nothing else, if she gets the title, it gives her a bit more screen time, and that will certainly improve her status, I suppose, in terms of perception on the perhaps or maybe more the casual fan. Because I'll be honest, I don't know too much about Lyra Valkyria at all. I really don't. But if she can get a bit of a run. What's on the other side of the draw? That's interesting for me to know.
I, at the moment, don't actually know because I went to SmackDown to see if there was another semi-final. With the powers of Google, I might be able to tell you.
Okay.
But hopefully it doesn't shut down the stream completely. Intercontinental.
Well, I'll tell you what. What's your
so the other thing that happened.
Okay, go on.
So go on. I thought you had something pressing to say.
No. I literally was going to fill for time for you.
Oh, okay. No, it's all right. So I'll skip over to SmackDown because SmackDown had its first 3-hour show, which I don't actually think was that bad in all fairness. Cody Rhodes started off the episode, kind of come out and spoke about a little bit about what's going on. Drew McIntyre then added himself to the story and said that he was worried about him. And he came in, first of all, and hugged him, which was really bizarre. Said that he thinks you need a friend and somebody to watch his back for him. He said, I don't need that for that to happen. But then he said, you must watch your back. And then in came Cody Rhodes and kind of attacked him. So it's Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes attacked himself, apparently. Kevin Owens came in and attacked him.
I was going to say, I mean, that's a whole different stream in itself, isn't it? If he's going to beat himself up, I mean...
Yeah. So yeah, that was that. It's a weird one because it looked like Drew McIntyre was coming in to help, but that actually was setting him up to get attacked by Kevin Owens. So I don't know where Drew puts himself or what happens with him. Might have put himself into the story somehow. Don't really know where it'll fit in.
Okay, so this goes back. This goes back to Saturday night's main event, doesn't it? Where KO got defeated by Kevin Owens.
Wow.
However, when it went off stream or offline, KO attacked Cody, and he went away with the winged eagle belt, and that story is sort of continuing over online. Certainly in WWE HQ, where he's sort of defaced the image of Cody as the current champion. He's put a picture of himself on that image, and so yeah, it's a continuation of a very interesting story between two excellent competitors, actually. Apologies for the time delay here, ladies and gentlemen. I can't do much about that.
Oh my lord.
Are you still with me, Sam?
I can't either by the looks of it. My internet's just deciding that it's not playing ball today.
It really isn't, is it? I mean,
it's not.
Please don't.
It's
please
really
don't having it. Jenna, where are you? I could do the stream with you.
Moment. So, bless them. Oh
dear. Look, Sam. Okay. Right. So you need to be professional about this. It's all fine. Don't worry about anything. We'll carry on like nothing is going on and no problems. Right, even I went off screen there. What happened there?
Yeah, at this point, I'm trying literally everything, removing everybody and putting everybody back on, see if anything works, but it's really not happening. So yeah, there was that.
You know you're in 8-bit, right?
As the powers of the internet have decided
it's like
to work.
Plugged in a Mega Drive.
I know, it's terrible. The final of it's like I'm using dial-up internet and having a blast from the past.
Trust this to happen when I'm here as well. My God.
This is really bad.
I mean, Sam, how many people are watching, mate?
Right. So the final of
for the love of God,
the tournament is actually on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to have to lead this because, goodness gracious, nothing is working right now and Sam's completely frozen. And that's really not ideal because I haven't really seen too much of it, much of the product. But what I will talk about is the other really interesting thing that happened over the last week. Of course, the changing of the women's title. Of course, Tiffany Stratton did cash in the women's Money of the Bank contract over Nia Jax. It was an extraordinary occurrence here where Bianca Belair did hit the KOD over Nia Jax and led to the cash in, the prettiest moonsault ever, which led to a new women's champion out on the SmackDown brand. Jenna can't talk because she's being kicked off.
I don't know if she's. I've added her back because I wondered
don't know
whether it's
what's going
because
on.
I physically
just got
removed
back.
her.
I don't
Oh,
know what's happening.
yay!
I just got back from the dead and I don't know what's going on. But
I
I'm here.
don't. I don't know what's going on either, to be honest. Not a lot by the looks of my internet. I can't. I can see Lee's lips moving, but I can't hear what he's saying, which is just amazing. Always what you want. No, still nothing.
I can't hear him either, so it's not just you.
I've been trying to change the resolution of my camera. Oh. Earth to Lee, we can't hear you.
Yeah, no, he's gone.
Earth to Lee, we cannot hear you. This is just a complete shit show. Oh, this is just horrendous. Right. Can you make any sense of what I'm saying? Or is this whole thing not working now?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
You can be heard, it's just Lee can't.
So what? So Lee was saying, Lee was saying about the championship changing hands on SmackDown. That happened. Tiffany cashed in and won. Yeah, that's that. Right, I'm going to do a thing and see if can anyone hear me any better, or is it just still as bad?
I can hear you. You're heard. I still can't hear you though. If he's saying anything, I don't even know at this point.
I'm heard. I can't hear. Bizarre.
You are
We've
heard.
completely switched around. This has to go down as one of the best streams we've ever done.
I'm just here for the New Japan app, but it's not working.
When this works, I am going to that could work backfire. But at this point, if it horribly backfires, then yeah. What's going to happen? And that thing that I wanted to do, I can't. Yeah. I think I'm going to make an executive decision, and yes. Can you actually hear me?
Yep. I can hear you. You're fine on my end. It's on Lee's end, or it's not working.
Okay.
You're fine here.
Okay. I'm going to pass it over to you. I'm going to pass it over
I
to
can't
you,
talk about
to be
Raw.
fair, since my... No, I'm not. I'm going on to the stuff
the title
over the
thing said
weekend.
Raw, so I got very confused.
Oh, okay. Let me...
I was like, I can't talk about that. I'll be sat here doing nothing. I couldn't tell you anything. I'll just be like, Oh, hey.
Hang on. In due course, something will come up.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Ta-da!
Wrestle Kingdom. I'm trying not to sound too negative.
It was 19, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of a way to not sound really negative about it.
Well, there was some good
positives.
moments.
Positives. David Finlay had a good match. That's my positive. David Finlay actually had a good match, which baffles me, but we made it work.
The women's was really good too.
Yeah. Takeshita's match is growing on me as I've rewatched it, but like watching it live, it was doo-doo. It was not nice, but I think it was mainly Shingo's fault though. But we let it slide because it's Takeshita. The main event, I was out of it. I was not having it. I just like how they had to like. I think it was meant to be like 20 minutes
That's
long,
one I didn't
but
actually
because
watch.
of the injury, they had to lengthen it, which sucked. Yeah, they had to like
Okay.
lengthen the match by a good 20 minutes because Doki versus Despe was meant to be longer, but obviously Doki got injured, so they couldn't make it any longer. Which is not fun. And then the TLC match was meant to be my favourite because Akira and Vegeta. But Dan Maloney ruined it! And the Jet Setters. I just hate Dan Maloney. I just don't like Dan Maloney, which is really good because he got moved to the heavyweight division today, so it's like he knew he went wrong, so was escaping the junior division to go into the main card in the heavyweights, which works well for me. Yeah, it was okay, it's just there was too many botches in it, and it was like quite too long, like slow, kind of in a way. Like each move had a big period of nothing in between it whilst they set it up. It just wasn't working. It was not flowing at all, but it worked in a way. I think Hiromu versus Naito was just like a storyline sort of thing because it was mainly more like you could see how much they cared for each other and how much like this match meant to them, but the actual match itself, But like the storyline wise to it, it really just showed how strong their friendship is and how like they never betray each other and shit like that, which was nice. Although wrestling wise, not nice. But oh well. Had I mentioned every match? Oh yeah, Tanahashi's match also shite. It was definitely a death match. So much death match to it. Literal definition of death match. Definitely.
There was so much blood and
It
so
was
many
so
weapons.
deathmatch coded.
Yeah, it was.
Everyone was bleeding.
Yeah, most brutal death matches I've ever seen in my life.
Best deathmatch I've ever seen in my life. Oh, Wrestle Dynasty. Oh, yay. My favourite. The show where I
I
proved
think that
people's
was
opinions
Wrestle
wrong.
Kingdom, though.
Huh?
I think that was better than Wrestle Kingdom, though.
Yeah, I didn't say it wasn't. That's why I said my favourite.
Oh, okay.
Then my favourite was the Noah show,
It
but
shouldn't,
no one watched that.
it shouldn't be better, but it was.
What, Dynasty?
Yeah, it shouldn't be better.
They had Shibata on the card, so it was already better. As soon as Shibata got on that card, 10 out of 10. Tut. Yeah, I proved everyone wrong. Which was really fun. Because someone thought Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ricochet would be better than Kenny versus Gabe.
I did, but that was before I found out about Ricochet, and then it went downhill from there.
Someone was hyping up Ricochet, and I was like, what? He is washed.
I wasn't
He is
really hyping
fried.
up. I was hyping up them. I wasn't like just not angling down on him. I'm not his biggest fan. I just thought it would be a good match to watch, but actually it was kind of boring.
Yep. It was better than the main event of the other show. But then again, Wrestle Kingdom kind of had to make it longer, so I can't really hate on it too much. Because obviously the injury meant they had to stretch out the card to make it longer so it fit the timings of the show.
But
So
the actual main event was carried by Zach. Ricochet was absolutely awful in it.
Same could be said for Wrestle Kingdom. Zach carried.
Yeah.
I love Shota, but Zach just carried.
And bearing in mind that Zach's wrestled the night before a longer match than it should have been, and he still looked better than the person that didn't have to wrestle the night before as well. So that was a bit embarrassing on Ricochet's part, I think.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm trying not to yap about Gabe versus Kenny. I'm just like trying to avoid it.
What?
I think if I yapped about Gabe versus Kenny, I wouldn't stop.
That was the main thing that made that pay-per-view good, though. Take that match out of it, and it would have just been an okay one.
Oh. Don't you dare diss my Lucha Gauntlet match.
Oh no, that was fun.
Don't
That
you
was
dare
fun.
diss my luchadors.
I did watch that, and that was good fun.
Yeah. Don't you
I
dare diss my
also watched
luchadors.
the women's. It was in the pre-show though. The women's.
Yeah, the
four-way.
Women's International Cup.
Well, that was quite fun, although it was a big screw up at the end. But that was obviously because New Japan wanted their star to win.
New Japan wanted their stars to win?
No, in the four-way women's match.
Yeah. There's no New Japan people in the women's match. There's no New Japan people in... There's no women in New Japan.
Botched it at the end.
Who?
Well, who was it that won that women's match then?
Momo, wasn't it? I swear Momo won.
She is. Oh, no. So it was Stardom, CMLL, AEW, and TNA, wasn't it?
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. Yeah.
Not TNA.
So it was those four.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Ignore what I've just said then, because it was wrong.
I was going to say that I don't think you'll be finding many women in New Japan.
Ignore what I said. That was completely
New
wrong.
Japan's just men, I fear. With the odd few appearances by women because of the USA promotion.
After this one, Lee, we will talk about this evening's Raw. So if you'd like to come back and try and see if we can work, because it looks a little bit more stable.
It's like
at the
we
minute.
take turns. I come on for the New Japan stuff, then just dip.
Yeah, there might be like a massive delay still, but it's going all right at the minute. Mainly because I'm doing less talking. But yeah, what's next for New Japan? Apart from last night, which was lots of tag team matches.
Last night? What,
like in terms of their schedule, what's next up for New Japan over the next coming months? Oh, this is just wonderful. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Hello.
We've got a run in. Oh, I can hear you again now. Amazing.
Hello.
Yeah. Well,
I
one more season than that.
I see you strong like this. What's going on?
That was my, I don't know what's going on. This is going really badly stretch.
Right. Good.
So,
But we've got Jenna with us, so it's all right.
yeah. So, yeah, we have. So, I was going to talk about Raw this evening. I did have on my phone saved some stuff, but my phone has been left upstairs. So I shall.
You've seen the chat.
It's just
Can you
all
see the
going
chat?
amazingly.
Sam, can you see? Jenna can't hear us now.
Yeah. Yeah, now it's January.
Crying out loud.
Yeah, it's just.
Honestly, I'd give up and try
the
again.
Doom stream. It's just.
I'd give up and do another stream.
At this point, we're nearly at the end of the show, Lee. At this point, we're nearly at the end of the stream, and I'll just tell Kyle to remove this stream into the abyss once it goes off live. So,
good.
In light of this evening, I found a little Instagram post with 5 things that could potentially happen. Stone Cold coming back is one of the things that could potentially happen.
What?
I am hearing that he might come. I am hearing that he might come in and stunner Logan Paul. Is what I'm hearing.
Does anyone want to see Stone Cold versus Logan Paul? Really?
I don't. No, I don't want to see that. I just want to see him getting stunned by Stone Cold. I think that's all that's going to happen.
I think there's better uses of Stone Cold, actually.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I mean,
apparently that's what happened.
Does it elevate Logan Paul? Does it put him in a prime position?
No.
Obviously not.
It does not.
I mean, I don't think we've seen Logan Paul for a number of months.
But the things that we have...
He even said he'd retired, Sam. Why are we not talking about that?
Oh, no, that was... Yeah, so that was on my... I don't know if you can see it there. That was the... Oh, my Lord. No, I'll just leave that. Wrestling Republic on Instagram put 5 things that we hope to see on Raw tonight.
Good.
So obviously they put 5 return of Becky Lynch. We obviously know that's happening. The debut of Penta was their 4th one. Stone Cold gives Logan Paul a stunner was their number 3. Charlotte Flair returning was their number 2. And then number 1 was The Rock confronts Cody or Roman, whichever one that may be.
Let's see that.
So I thought that was quite interesting.
I could. So if you want to go talk about Rock, if you think about how WrestleMania Night 2 went, Rock completely dismissed Roman. He completely went past him and went to confront Cena. And then got choke slammed out the match by Taker. Yeah, I could see that. So that would mean him going on to the new sign of the new side of the bloodline, wouldn't it?
It would. I think bringing all of these people back will bring different eyes on it. Will bring eyes that maybe have affiliations with The Rock and Stone Cold when they used to watch the wrestling. I think that's been done on purpose to get those eyes involved and entice people in to see what's going on with those people. I don't know about you, that was my thoughts why they might be doing it. I'm going to take the Wrestle Dynasty poster, the banner down.
No worries. No worries. Sorry, Jennifer, I've caused you a technical issue. I don't think it's me. I think it's just the powers that be that don't want to play along with us today. 3, 4, 5. Goodness gracious, that's bad. So we should talk about what we expect out of Raw tonight, right? So outside of Punk versus Rollins, 1-on-1, you've got Roman Reigns going 1-on-1 with Solo Sikoa in a tribal combat match, of course. We've also got Liv Morgan to defend her title against Rhea Ripley, and John Cena to make his first stop on the retirement tour. I don't know if we know if Cena's competing or whether he's, if we know who he's competing against. But it's going to be a WrestleMania-esque sort of card for tonight on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see John Cena competing. I think he'll come out and cut a promo and kind of introduce what's going to happen on his last year of in the wrestling world. I would have thought, that's my guess, and because I think we're already stacked to the rafters with matches, I think they might say this is a part of it where we can have a promo rather than a match. Because I think because obviously all those matches you want to space out at different points of the card. So filling it in the middle with different promo sections like that, with the Roman Reigns and the Rock, with the Stone Cold bit, whatever that might happen of it, just to give you a mix of the both. But obviously we'll see.
Don't you? Well, let me tell you something, dude. The Hulkster is coming back to Monday Night Raw. And what you gonna do when Hulk Hogan runs wild on you, brother?
Yeah, there has been reports of that, hasn't there?
I don't know what come over me now.
Whether that happens. There has been reports of that. Obviously, he is a character completely shrouded in controversy at the moment. So we could see that and we could not all at the same time.
Apparently, Sam, there's reports that the WWE have signed a sort of sponsorship deal with the Hulkster's beer, and we might see a bit of a Hulkster beer bash tonight. That's what I think.
Oh, Lord.
And let me tell you something, dude. What you gonna do when I get completely sloshed over you?
Sloshed. Yeah.
At least I made you laugh.
I think it's going to be one of those ones, isn't it? It's a decision they've got to make, and whichever way they make it, it could backfire on them potentially.
You reckon? You reckon?
Yeah.
I mean,
I would say so.
It's unfortunate because Hogan is one of the reasons why the company took off when it did. And for the likes of my generation, come to watch the product, and I got to love WWE as I do. It's just unfortunate that no matter where he goes, he doesn't seem to be doing the right thing at the moment, does he? Really?
No, it is a shame because you've got lots of people like this across sports, haven't you? That made the sport what it is, but unfortunately, because of their actions outside of what they did, they're looked at very differently by a big audience, basically. So it's just unfortunate sometimes because there's no debate in that we wouldn't be where we are in terms of wrestling right now if Hulk Hogan hadn't been around. We wouldn't be at this level at all. So
of course,
it's one of those ones, isn't it? It's just disappointing, I think, mainly that we have to have this conversation because we should be saying, "Oh yeah, it'd be great to have him on the first Raw of Netflix," but unfortunately,
honestly,
that's
I'd
the latter.
rather hear the Undertaker's gong go off.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to hear. Because the guy was there for so long, and for being such a pioneer. Do you know what? Quite honestly, not only have I watched WrestleMania 17 this week in full, I also watched the full episode of Monday Night Raw, the premiere episode where Taker went one-on-one with Damien Demento. And wrestling's come a long way from then. But I'd much rather get excited to watch Taker at least come out and talk to the people rather than seeing the overdone hot dog come out and talk about, having his vitamins and saying his prayers and all that nonsense. To be honest, that's my feeling on that one. I'm sorry, Hulkster, but you've got no place in the business right now, mate.
No, and I think you're right. I think that would be a much better. I wish that was what people were talking about rather than could Hulk Hogan be or not be on there. I wish that was the conversations that people were having instead, to be honest. But it is not. But I think there'll be still a lot of surprises. I think there's still a lot that they're keeping from us. Obviously, they've told us a lot, but also they want to lead to the element of surprise for people like us that watch it all the time. They still want that element of surprise for us as well.
I'm still with you, Sam. I'm still with you.
I'm
getting breaking news in the wrestling business.
Oh, really?
I really am.
Oh, wow.
Right. Okay. So let me tell you, everybody, that next year's Royal Rumble is going to come from Saudi Arabia. It's going to come from Jeddah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that was on my notes.
Yeah, it's now completely official. WWE over X have just announced that literally as we're on air. So I'm not overly excited by that in the slightest, Sam. Unfortunately.
No, I know they've got a lot of dealings with Saudi in terms of the pay-per-views they have over there.
Yeah,
already.
POE, come on, get with the times. POE.
Yeah, but no, it disappoints me as well because there's so many. Not only is there so many more better places that they could have it, i.e. the UK, anywhere in America, anywhere in Canada, anywhere in Europe.
Yeah,
I'm not being picky, but all those sit better with me. Royal Rumble's one of the big three, if you could call WrestleMania,
right there,
SummerSlam. Mate. Yeah, if you could call WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Royal Rumble the top three. So to have it in a country that has so many awful things going on, and that are shrouding so much controversy. I actually, while the pay-per-view was on last year, I actually took time to kind of deep dive into them as a country. And some of the things that happened there were horrendous. So to have something as, well,
just helping the channel out, Sam. I'm just helping the channel out, mate.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't think you have to look far to kind of find what it is that you're thinking it like that we're talking about. But yeah, it is a shame because it's one of those ones that is steeped in so much history, and one of the ones that, like you say, is known worldwide and known outside of wrestling as well. So
I mean, let me think.
Yeah, it really disappointed me.
Am I right in saying Royal Rumble tradition goes back to 1988, if I'm not mistaken, thereabouts, and to see it going out to Saudi Arabia doesn't sit well with me in the slightest. It really doesn't, and it's a shame. Because, and I'll tell you why it's a shame, because, I mean, for example, tonight's card for Monday Night Raw excites me. I might even be watching Raw live for the first time in goodness knows how many years tonight, because I'm that excited about the card. And now because over the Netflix deal, I can see it live. I have the opportunity to do so, much like a lot of wrestling fans who could get the chance to do so tonight. It's almost like tonight feels like it's when the maybe slightly casual wrestling fan might get themselves back involved, because so many people have Netflix subscriptions already, and we don't have to pay extra to watch Raw tonight, right? But it just feels like a massive slap round the face after what could actually be a really good thing tonight. That's how I feel tonight. Just seeing that break, that's my instant reactions. If you agree with me, or if you don't agree with me, let me know in the chat down below if you're watching us, because I'm not sure how long this stream's going to be on the YouTubes, because to be fair, we've had an absolute nightmare.
Very long.
But
no, but it is. I think it's the first time, isn't it, that it's gone out of America, I'm pretty sure, in the whole time that Royal Rumble's being a thing. I don't think
I'm trying to think. I don't think it's even gone as far as Canada. I really don't. I think it's been America all the way through, and it doesn't settle well with me at all, unfortunately.
No, it doesn't with me either. And I think this will be I'm obviously not speaking for everyone, but I think this will be the view of most. Like, if it was, I don't think. Obviously, it's not great, right? Even if it's not great, if it's another pay-per-view, but I think it's because it's Royal Rumble as well. Like, if it was something else, like I don't know, like an elimination chamber that's gone to Australia last year or something like that. Yeah. Something that's not as big, it wouldn't be fantastic, but I don't think it would have the same effect on the wrestling.
This is the Royal Rumble, mate. This is the step towards the biggest stage of them all in terms of wrestling business, and it really makes me feel quite unsettled about even thinking about watching Raw tonight now. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I mean, I might be of the minority here. Some people might not even give a monkeys, but because of the political situation over there, it makes it extremely difficult.
Yeah, I think it will affect most people, to be honest. And I really wonder if WWE had wanted, because I know that story started about a week ago in the rumor mill. So I think it's very unfortunate that it comes out this evening. I imagine they've tried all that they can to not make it break.
Of all evenings.
I imagine they've tried all they can, but obviously not enough. And it's really unfortunate, because it shows you that given a bit of money, WWE will just back down and say you can have what you want. So it's a little bit disappointing, because it does show you that money talks.
Okay, well then,
and
just on that, I mean, okay, so we don't know. This is all breaking news as we're talking, right? So, how much of this is already arranged? How much is this already under contract? I mean, even before Triple H has taken off the reins, as it were. Is this if this is a new arrangement? Well, then Hunter, you've got some questions to be asked, I'm afraid, mate. Because a lot of people are looking at your Triple H's reign as the second coming, if you like. It's like the from the boom of the 1980s when wrestling got big. When I started watching it from the first WrestleMania, when it all went global, right, and it got very exciting. We're at a level now where we should know a little bit better in terms of politically the situation, in terms of what is going on in terms of countries allegedly. This is not good, and it's not going to set well with long-term fans like myself. I can tell you that much. Which is unfortunate.
It's
really unfortunate.
So they have had this thing in place with Saudi Arabia over the last couple of years that they had the same pay-per-view every year.
Yeah.
Which was Super Showdown.
Two, haven't they? They've had the two.
Yeah, so they've had 2 Super Showdowns.
Yeah.
So that having a Super Showdown is very different to having a Royal Rumble pay-per-view. So there's no way on this earth that they can just go, oh, actually, don't fancy Super Showdown this year. We can have a Royal Rumble, because Royal Rumble's got different implications and
absolutely
historical purposes for WWE than Super Showdown does, a pay-per-view that they've had 2 years running. So it's not just that they've got the power to suddenly wake up and go, actually, do you know what? They don't fancy Super Showdown this year. We'll have Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. That's not going to be part of the contract. So that somewhere down the line, there has to be something or some way that's been said, potentially, I don't know, potentially has it been, we'll give you X amount of money if you change that Super Showdown pay-per-view this year to a Royal Rumble pay-per-view.
Yeah. I would imagine.
And that's...
Yeah, I would imagine that would be the case.
Which is really frustrating as well, because you would hope that WWE, the money machine that they are, has enough money to say, do you know what? That's not going to be happening, I'm afraid. You would hope so, but clearly not. Clearly, somewhere down the line, something's gone missing and they've want to, change the integrity of one of the big pay-per-views. But I don't know.
Do you know what I think is going to be interesting is to see the reaction online, because we're doing this live as this comes out. And do you know what? And this is good reason to keep the stream up, to be honest, because we're reacting live to the news that one of the big events in the next year, in 12 months' time, the road to next year's WrestleMania is going to be starting over in Jeddah, and I'm pretty sure the wrestling universe is going to be pretty disgusted about the whole situation as I am, and as I think you are. Imagine
right, this. You are a wrestling fan that's lived in the UK forever, and you decided that this year or next year was your time that you fancy going to Royal Rumble. Can you imagine that if you'd have down in your calendar, not this year, but next year, to travel all the way to America to see a Royal Rumble, maybe stay there for WrestleMania or come back, and then whatever that plan might look like. But imagine you've got that and you now go, well, I can't do that because it's in Saudi Arabia. I mean, you think to yourself, what are my chances?
It's worth saying that the WWE aren't the only big brand to do big PLEs over in Jeddah. I mean, they've done some big boxing events. Again, not my specialist subject. I can't talk too much about that. But I know they've had some heavyweight boxing cards over in Jeddah. And obviously that has ramifications on the heavyweight scene over in that. But I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me. And so they might. It'd be interesting to see certainly reaction online on Twitter, on X, over the next sort of day or days on this news. That's what I'm thinking right now, mate.
So the boxing one's a little bit different. So in boxing, a prince in Saudi Arabia that's high ranking has put a lot of money into creating this boxing scene out there. He has promoted and bought in Ring Magazine, which was a boxing publication that's been around since the beginning of time, nearly. It's been around for ages. He's kind of put me to pump that back up. So it's very much something that's a part of boxing now, and they're doing quite well with it just because they're investing a lot of money into it and stuff like that. So that, in terms of a partnership between boxing and the Prince and everything like that, it is looked at quite positively, I think, for the sport of boxing. Very different, obviously, to the agreement that WWE having in place with. But yeah, it's one of those. I think, unfortunately, we've found over the last couple of years more than ever that money factors into pretty much everything that happens now, and they have a lot of it, so they can kind of throw it around. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Like I said, I don't know. It just doesn't, like I say, sit very well with me. And like I say, I'm actually quite intrigued now to go on to X, as it is. I'm going to bring it up quickly just to see if I can
absolutely
get anything up. Because I imagine it's quite a big thing now.
Hit your screen share if you can, Sam.
Masked Singer. It's on my tablet, actually, to be fair, that I'm on.
Okie dokes.
Right, let's have a look.
I mean, if you want me to fill for you, I will do just for a minute, because if you got this far in our stream, and I know we've had technical issues during the night, please make sure you hit the like button, and of course you've got the Patreon link above my head, patreon.com/WrestleDawgs, and we have the merch down below us.
So it's a lot of, obviously, all the wrestling X accounts posting what's happening. So somebody's put confirming a partnership with Hulk Hogan's beer, the brand that won't last through the year, and confirming a Saudi Royal Rumble on the same day as a mega debut on Netflix is nasty work. It's not good to both come out on the same day.
Does any modern wrestling fan
want to see
Hulk Hogan come out tonight? I don't, really, honestly.
No. People are saying CM Punk is missing from the promo poster due to his stance about Saudi Arabia.
Interesting.
Which I'm quite surprised not more of them got.
I mean, this is very early doors on this, so let's be a bit cautious on what we're saying here. But yeah, I get you.
It's a lot of swearing, and
yeah, I can imagine.
The Royal Rumble being in Saudi before the UK even gets a sniff at a big PLE is leaving a rather sour taste. Hashtag WWE.
Yeah, I can understand
which I think
that
completely. I think that's quite poignant, to be fair.
Especially when we had, if you remember Cena coming out of Money in the Bank a little while ago, saying, "I want to see WrestleMania over here in the UK." You know, it feels like a bit. It sounds like Cena's talking a bit of a load of this and not a load of substance, to be honest.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's his. I think that's his view, separate to what WWE think. I think that his kind of, and actually being somebody that's not active on the roster apart from this year, although he's a legend, I don't know how much say he's actually got apart from his own opinions. It's just a lot of people being quite confused at the whole thing, I think. And it's really not going to do well for WWE when they've got their big launch of. That's what I'm thinking now. If Twitter's saying all this now, they're not focusing on what they want people to focus on.
Absolutely. It's a PR disaster. It's what I'm thinking right now.
Well, massively. Cannot pretend to be a fan. I cannot even pretend to be a fan of the Royal Rumble being in Saudi. It's not even been out of North America as well. So I was reading it. It's only been in North America.
Right.
So it's the first time out of just North America that the Royal Rumble has been in.
Right. Which is gonna feel a lot worse, I think, for a lot of fans across the world. I mean, this is a tradition that started off all them years ago when I was a wee lad and I was probably about, let me think, 9. I think I was 9 when the first Royal Rumble PLE came out. And now we're all of a sudden we're talking about WWE going global, and we're talking about this massive relaunch on Netflix and the bright future it has. All of a sudden we're talking about it going to Jeddah, and we all know the problems that occur with that, and it's not setting well with anybody by the sound of it.
No, it's not anything. And a big part of, as I've been thinking about this, a big part of the whole Royal Rumble build-up is pointing to that WrestleMania sign over all of the SmackDowns, and that's going to look really weird to be in
I'll be honest,
the monster arenas that they have in Saudi.
I'm almost thinking now, so we're pointing at the sign to WrestleMania. So when they're going to do the next WrestleMania in Jeddah? I mean, yeah, that's how my brain goes.
Now, I don't think.
Is it? Oh goodness! I'm sorry if I've left you for a second. I think I'm back.
No, that's not good. I think this is interesting as well, because somebody actually says, it seems like every time I get pulled back into WWE, they pull something shitty, like announcing the 2026 Saudi Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. And I think that kind of fits for everybody that might be watching or potentially thinking about watching tonight or tomorrow that are getting back into it. I wonder how that sits with them. Wonder whether some of those people will go, do you know what? I don't want to be part of this.
Yeah. I'm still with you. And you wonder where it go with Netflix's anticipated audience for tonight's show, for example. Where's that going to go now? I don't know.
Yeah, if they're thinking about coming back into it, but they see that this is happening next year, are they going to go, well, no, I'm not really bothered again now? They're clearly not looking as to what's going on in the world and the sort of stuff that's happening. So, yeah, it's everybody not very happy about it by the looks of it.
It's like Ted DiBiase said many, many, many years ago, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's got a price.
Yeah, they did have the greatest Royal Rumble, didn't they, in Saudi Arabia, which is the biggest Royal Rumble ever, wasn't it? But that was
absolutely, but it's not really kayfabe, is it? It's not really attributed to anything following that. I mean, look, Big Braun got the title. What's that meant to him? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But this is more serious in terms of a wrestling fan who loves his tradition.
Mhm.
And it goes all the way back to when was the first time that they done it for a place at WrestleMania? I've got to think
Oh,
it
wow.
might have to be in '93 because it would be because Flair got the title at WrestleMania. Sorry, at Royal Rumble '92. I think Royal Rumble '93, you started having the tradition of having it going to a WrestleMania spot later down the line. Would I be correct? Any wrestling historians are in the chat? Having just seen having seen the first Monday Night Raw, I think I'm probably right in saying that.
It's interesting actually because I've just gone on to sports trending on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and although it's posted about less than Raw, the 2026 Royal Rumble is actually higher on the page than tonight's Raw is, which is really interesting. It's got the difference is in 2026 Royal Rumble they've got 1,258 posts apparently, and then Raw they've got 24.6k posts, but that 2026 is higher up. You search on the sports bit of X's trending, which speaks to itself really, because what people are going to see before Raw, they're going to see 2026 Royal Rumble and have a look into that before they see what's going on about Raw. So
I mean,
I hate to say I told you so,
because
you really biting you in the arse, isn't it?
I mean, it'll be interesting to see how I'll call him by his real name at this stage. How Paul Levesque looks at this and how he reacts to this, because he's saying to everyone that he sees everyone's posts and everything. The reaction to this is obviously not good, and I mean, surely you'd know that, and it also will ask questions if there's anyone else working above Triple H now. I'm going to say that now.
If they have a press conference like they do sometimes after the pay-per-views, after Raw this evening, it would be interesting because I imagine that's on the lips of every person that's going to be asking the questions in that press conference if there is one. And I'd really like to know what their answer is to it. I'll be interested to see if that happens.
It's the equivalent in football terms of scoring the biggest own goal you could ever do in front of a big. I mean, I don't know if I'm right in calling it a season premiere. It probably is in a way. It's as Sam very eloquently called it as the premiere of the Netflix era earlier on today. It's not the way that they'd be wanting to start their new era with all this in the background. But I mean, who are we to judge? I mean, we're but a couple of guys on the YouTube who are voicing our opinion because we can do it live. It'll be interesting to gauge more opinion as we motor towards Monday Night Raw tonight and beyond.
Yeah, I suppose that we're at a point where we're not at the levels of some of the other wrestling channels, so we can maybe say some things that they would be thinking about whether they could say or couldn't say. So I suppose that's where we lie a little bit different, because our content doesn't go as far as some of the other wrestling channels out there. So
bear my contacts in terms of another wrestling YouTube channel which you know about. I'd be very interested to see how they report on what we're talking about. I'm sure knowing the chaps that I know pretty well, I'm pretty sure they're going to be saying the same thing that we're saying. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure that they'll be thinking the same things that we're thinking, but whether they'll choose to voice that on their channel is obviously something that they'll take into careful consideration, I think. To be honest, I do think that they've never been scared of what they say, but they've also got to be with their platform very sensible about what they say as well. So
absolutely,
because obviously they've got various ties to everything, haven't they? So so yeah, it'd be interesting, and I imagine that they'll probably air their own opinions on their own social medias rather than on the channel potentially. But obviously, that's me just guessing and speculating.
Me knowing the lads like I do, I would imagine they'll be prepping themselves, getting ready to do a live, like we're doing right now. But the news happens to have broken when we're on air, and you know, I'm at a stage where I'm a little unfiltered, and I will say what I feel. I hope you and Carl and anyone else involved in Wrestle Dogs don't mind. I will express my opinion without. I hope I haven't gone beyond boundaries. I hope I haven't. But
well, no, I think that's what we pride ourselves in, that we are subtly ourselves, and whatever comes out
absolutely.
Comes out. It's not that we
put it like this,
because I don't think if you'd not.
I know what I've said is PG. So
yeah, it's one of those, and I think obviously all the other channels will be preparing for their live streams tonight of the show, so I imagine that's on their minds more than what's gone on. Obviously, they'll get the same news reports that we do, so I'm sure they'll be aware of it. But I imagine it's 100%. All heads and focus on the live tonight. So
it'd be interesting to see how the mainstream react to it. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, no, it will. And obviously, if they've got content coming up that is based around this evening's live, will they want to take people's attentions away from that live, potentially not, and post something? I imagine we'll get wind of that from other channels maybe tomorrow rather than today, just because you don't want to put a downer really on a day like it is today, because we should be celebrating wrestling today, but unfortunately now it doesn't really feel the same to me. But
it's funny how you can change your feelings from the whole thing after 2 hours, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. But yeah, I really hope that they get a chance to answer the questions that people have got, because a lot of the time, unfortunately, they know that it's caused controversy, so they don't allow anybody to ask them questions.
Right.
And I really hope that's not the case this time, because I think they've got to answer the questions that people have.
It's got to be no holds barred, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it has. So yeah, it's what it is. We can't change it. We can only kind of say what we feel about it. But yeah, I did it. Flattened my mood a little bit going into tonight, but
it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. It'll be interesting to see how it's addressed later on this evening. I would imagine by the main man himself, by Paul Levesque, later on this evening. All I'd say to any wrestling fans who are watching us live right now is, let's try and put what we're feeling in terms of potentially, the Royal Rumble of next year. Put them feelings aside for the minute. Let's just get excited about what could be an extremely good card, as we were talking about earlier on before this news broke. Let's look forward to what happens on Raw tonight, because it's going to be a good one. I think there's titles on the line. There's going to be an epic clash between Rollins and Punk that's been on, in the makings before, when Punk made his return to the company way back in the Survivor Series. Let's hope we have a good show. I was going to mention that with the Netflix deal, they don't have the restrictions that they might have done over USA, whereas they can, there's not necessarily a 3-hour runtime. They can go over if they want to, because it's on a completely independent broadcaster. If you're not watching live, you can watch it on playback. It's going to be available completely on demand tonight on Netflix. You can catch up with it on demand if you want to, and I'm sure this channel will be back sometime very soon to discuss what happened on Raw and for the rest of the occurrence for what happens in later on in the week, Sam. Right?
Yeah, I'm actually excited about it because I think in a grand scale of things, everybody on this channel will have better access to wrestling now.
Certainly, I do.
Because, like
That's
you
for
say,
sure.
most people use Netflix anyway before this happened. So I'm hoping that it allows others on the channel to feel that they know what's going on a little bit more, and gives others the opportunity to. I think it'll obviously make it a hell of a lot easier when we do sort of any like live streaming of the pay-per-views, knowing that we're both on the same stream. Whether it will sync up or not, as we see on Guna Gathering, is a different story completely.
Absolutely.
But
I mean, it's unlikely to getting me on a live on a PLE because I've got my little girl here in the flat. But I know what you're saying in terms of the other guys. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that obviously we get news of a few pay-per-views that are on at good time for us. I know there'll be conversations about whether we do WrestleMania and Royal Rumble and stuff. I would like to say that I would be doing them, but it just, as I'm getting older, it messes my whole sleeping schedule up for a week. So,
Sam, what sleeping schedule?
So yeah, right.
I can see all sorts going on our Wrestle Dog chat right now. So yeah, I think this is probably a good place. Oh, it's kicking off on our Wrestle Dog chat right now. So what I'd suggest is probably this is probably a good place to wrap it up because I'll say it's a good time to wrap it up because I would have watched Wolves versus Nottingham Forest in the football. I want to say thank you very much to Sam for having me and Jenna over on the channel tonight. It's been a blast. I know we've had technical issues tonight, and that's unfortunate. But if you enjoy what we're doing on the stream, please like what you're saying and subscribe to not only Wrestle Dogs but my own channel, which is Guna Gathering. Which I am the founding father, as has been touted on me. We are a family friendly Arsenal channel. We talk about everything during about Arsenal during the post match, pre matches. I'll be doing a watch along tomorrow night for the Newcastle game in the semi final of the Carabao Cup. Thank you all for watching, and cheers, Sam. It's been a blast, mate.
Yeah, the last part of it, we've got talking about. We spoke about what I wanted to speak about mainly. So that is when it comes up. That is myself. That is my Instagram, where you'll find me most. We do have an Instagram, and then the Patreon's up the right-hand corner. We have merch, which is available in the description. And yeah, that's us. So I imagine we shall be back on either Sunday or Monday to talk about what's happened. Obviously, by then we'll have a Monday Night Raw, an NXT, and a SmackDown. That should be interesting to talk about that. So until then, hope you all have a good week. End the stream. Oh.